Hi, my name's Adam. I play for a band called the Katuns, and this is our newest single called The Holiday. Hope you enjoy. I sit right here on holiday on the balcony. She's on the phone, she's half cut, she's not happy with me. You know I try so hard. You just watch me fall apart. Sat right down, I took it in, I can't take no more. Can't stay on a holiday. Six little words she said to me, you're to get some time away. I can feel the anger a million miles away. You know I try so hard. You just watch me fall apart. Sat right down, I took it in, I can't take no more. I'd sit right here, thinking being left astray. My phone says different, she's calling up on me, calling up on me. I try so hard. You just watch me fall apart. Sat right down, I took it in, I can't take no more, no more. Can't stay on the holiday. Six little words she said to me. You're to get some away. I can feel the anger a million miles away, but you never know what to do to me, what to do to me. You never know. What to do to me, 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 what to do to me. So, all our songs are stories. They all tell and different kind of stories and different situations, different scenarios, which the holiday, it was me who mostly wrote the lyrics, and in fact I wrote all the lyrics, didn't I?
I think so, yeah.
There was just some words which we kind of changed about and stuff.
You stole the second line of the chorus is from my Instagram caption, because I went away on holiday. And you were still kind of writing the lyrics at the time because we were just about to go into the studio.
Yeah.
You were like, aye. You messaged me that and you were like, yeah, I've just taken your caption.
Aye.
I think that's actually been with us for ages. So our first two songs that we've put out, they were ones that have came about over lockdown, whereas we've played The Holiday since we were just playing as a backing band for Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's good that's kind of stuck there, and it was our drummer that was just kind of why don't we go back to that? And we're I think we tried it a couple times.
Yeah,
and then it was
we had several different versions of it that we kept straying away from it. But I think it was good that we came back to it, and then you added that ending, which in the actual single itself, we've now got this massive vocal that suggested we do by Jamie, and then, like, we all kind of were a bit sceptical first, but
So essentially, what this we're a bit off topic there. Sorry, but the songs about being on holiday and like things like out with the holiday, like not being very good, i.e. like relationships and stuff. It did start with an argument me and Declan had when we went on holiday, like
2 years ago, I think.
yeah, like 2 years ago. Can't remember if it was the one which we went in like December 2019 or in July. I can't remember, but we argued and went in the half, and that song kind of got inspiration from that, because I'm like, oh, but obviously Declan's it would be like, if it was about Declan, it would be like he's not happy with me, but I changed it to like a girlfriend, because like I've had like been on holiday and people have been like messaging me like not happy.
Can I be the middleman here? Because if we let them talk, they'll start kicking each other again.
I know.
We don't hate each other. We're just all very like opinionated, and we're all very stubborn people. But I think
I'd say me more so. I'm very stubborn.
Declan's very
not a
stubborn.
good trait.
Declan Fisher.
It's not.
you
He's
also
very
have
stubborn.
like the smallest time scale because you've got so much to do. You're constantly doing something, so like we have to fit things
Yeah.
nicely. This feels like a therapy session. Like
So,
a bit of a
yeah, I mean, like, obviously we all work, but like I've kind of taken on the social media side of things and all that, so I kind of like in my head have a plan, and then Adam's very laid back, which isn't a bad thing. I think I could probably say lay back a wee bit, but it's like sort of those two personalities that can clash very easily.
My favourite bit that is like it happens literally every single week.
Yeah.
Adam doesn't use his phone like at all, so we'll get a message from him at the start. We'll get a message from him Monday, then we'll have loads of plans to sort out. So Declan will message him, and you get one message from him back. You're like, all right, okay, and then that's it. Silence for the rest of the week.
Yeah, you base it off of like a message every hour or something. So.
But I think we all really, really enjoy being in a band together. So I think we put it all behind. Like it's never like an argument where we feel like we're gonna end up hating each other. It's just because we're always so.
We're all busy, and we are kind of we all have our own wee personalities, and I think like at the end of the day, like we're enjoyed ourselves so far, and like we all get on like in a way that we never like probably imagined. Like even just the fact that like when we started playing together as a band, I think it was the end of 2019.
Yeah.
I'd met Matt for the first time, our drummer, and it just kind of clicked. So it was like I feel comfortable, and literally after a couple of weeks, Declan joined, and we were all.
I'd met you beforehand, the Weatherspoons, for a friend of ours night out, and I got an invite from Adam, and I sat beside you, and I was already, I don't know, like you must have arrived like half an hour late, but I was already steaming. And I was eating a pizza, and I was wearing like a white shirt, and it just dribbled right down. I was like, "This is a great first impression." And then I went into the room for the first rehearsal, and you were there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the guy that I was." I spilt like pizza sauce all over him, and spilt my drink all over him. And...
So the decision to form as a band, well, we'd already like kind of been at the start, like we were like, yeah, we want to get like a new band going, we want to do this, and you know, be like a new band with a new name. But it was just the gigs, or like the stuff we were doing at the time. We didn't want to like rush like a band name, like or you know what I mean, like a kind of creative process, like I know a lot of musicians like that. So we're like, we had the choice, so do we think of like a really last minute band name and do like these shows we were doing? We done King Tut's with the Lathams, start of February 2020, and Sneak, no, what was it? Sorry, I was saying Sneaky Pete's. St. Luke's with Shambolics, March 2020, and then lockdown happened. We didn't have a band then, we didn't have like a clue what to call the band, so we just went under my name. We just said, okay, we'll just go under Adam Frame. You know, just go for the easy choice, and then we'll think about that later on. You know, little did we know lockdown was about to happen, and then obviously when lockdown happened, I think every one of us got in like a kind of creative spell. You know,
I think that was like the benefit of lockdown, is that we had this like kind of idea sitting, because we all knew the energy that we felt together when we were playing on stage, and it was like, we now have time. We're not gigging. We're not able to record anything. We're not able to really do anything. We'll use this period of time to decide what we're actually going to make in this. And
Yeah, I think it was just it was a collective discussion, and then we kind of thought, well, what can we do over lockdown? And then all these other bands started doing the covers from home.
Yep.
So we were just like, why don't we do that? And I think then we just sort of...
Whilst we were doing like the covers from home and writing new songs and stuff, you obviously, everyone's like bought like Xboxes and all that stuff and kept themselves occupied. I started watching like kind of like YouTube videos and like documentaries on like different stuff, and there was one which came up, and it was to do with the Aztecs and to do with like Mayan calendars. Absolutely nothing to do with like us whatsoever. Just there was like one word which popped out, and it was called a Katun, which was like in the Mayan calendar, and just like, whoa, that's a cool wee
some
word.
of the names we came up with, I think we had like maybe 5 or 6 different names before we set them.
Yeah.
What did we had?
We had one inspired from Trainspotting.
Was that Skag Boys? Or...
Yeah, but then that has a different meaning. So
yeah, we completely decided. We also had the pandemic, and then one of you, I think it was you, that was like, yeah, that's a little inappropriate now because we're like in the middle of this, and you know, all this is going on. So we decided against that. I can't think what else we had. We had a few.
We had like a lot to do with like, well, for me, like before lockdown, I had a lot of like stuff to do with like reptiles. I was like, I was thinking, I was like, we'll go with like a name for to do with like reptiles or something. Just looking back, no, I don't. I'm glad we didn't do that.
I can't think.
Our band name really fits us because like it's like almost as if it's a made up word, but it's not. Like it genuinely has like a meaning behind it. It's something to do with like an ancient kind of tribe.
So this is our second single. The song's called Similar Faces. Hope you enjoy. Today to the city, Friday night, fighting the groups in the night time. We stay ourselves to get by. Yeah. Strange maneuvers in the dark, an underground club where we are. The man is scary, the people try to bite. Yeah, something ain't quite right. Something ain't quite right. You walk down the stairs and around you wish you weren't here. A million people screaming in your ear. The man is scary, the people try to bite. Yeah, something ain't quite right. Something ain't quite right. Yeah, it's the similar faces around the room that round me up. The takes in my system, I don't bad enough. Perhaps it's more too soon, perhaps it's too much, yeah. The light lights in the streets, I think you're calling a night for me. While I'll be fuck, is there no train back, yeah. next thing I knew, I ran into you. You're all dressed up like you do. We got a drink, but there's too many in the queue. She's asking me my life ambitions. I don't mind, I just wanna be different. As long as I'm happy, I'll get real far, yeah. Go outside and go for a smoke. A million days, a million folk. Similar faces around the room now round me up. The drinks in my system, I know about enough. Perhaps it's spoke too soon, perhaps it took too much. The lights and lights in the streets, I think you'll call it a night for me. But I'll be a fuck is in the trains back. There's no going back, no, no. There's no going back, yeah. No, there's no going back. There's no going back, yeah. There's no going back. Thank you.
Summer Faces is more of a kind of experimental tune, I'm not gonna lie. I think it was like when we released our first single was like, you could definitely label it as like an indie rock song, right? But we released Summer Faces and it's more rocky. It's a bit, I've had that song for ages. I wrote the song as well.
Was it not
As well
called
as the
something
holiday and
else?
stuff. Sorry.
It was called something else at the start.
Yeah, it was called like No Trains Back, which is like that's like a line at the end of the chorus. That was just like a kind of code name for it. Then thought of Summer Faces. The song follows again a story. All our songs are like stories. Follows a story of a night out. Typical like kind of night out, which I think like loads of people can follow as well. You know, it follows like getting a train into the city and you go to a club and there's like so many people there, it's like roasting.
COVID hotbox.
Aye. And like just meeting like so many people and you're like, whoa, bit scary that sometimes. Going outside, meeting people, and when you go home, you can't go home because you've missed the last train and you don't know how you're getting home, and that's when I thought, oh, it's not going back and all that. You know, I might have to get a taxi, all that stuff. In fact, actually, I missed that lyric out. I had. There was loads of lyrics floating about for that song, like taxis, etc. You know,
musically, it shows us off a bit because like Friend Like You's got very well, they both have very driven like lead parts, but like the bass and the drums kind of stand out a bit more on this song, especially the drum catch that we felt at the start. I think that's kind of what stuck it for us. Like, just it shows us all off a bit more in terms of our library music.
I think that's the song which really like kind of made us like define,
set people
like set what we wanted to do, like melody wise and how we wanted to like make songs. It doesn't follow, if you like look into like songwriting and stuff, it doesn't follow like a typical like pop song, like, you know, verse, bridge, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus. It goes like verse 1, verse 2, chorus, verse 3, chorus, and then like a kind of outro part.
That was the thing. See, when we were first playing it, this was like before rehearsal studios opened
So
back
confusing.
and we were sitting in that little hut in Mac's back
Yeah.
garden working it out, and I was sitting going like, we were playing it, and I was like, what's coming next? And then we started playing that, but
Yeah, it took forever. I think it was good though. It was quite technical, and like it kind of it brought in a set of fans, you know, that we can kind of provide for, and then we just kind of like
the support from that song was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was coming off the back of like nothing really. Like
Yeah.
we did the cover of the
Dunlop
Cooks,
Glen covers, yeah.
and then like we just were like, yeah, here's a single, and then it just kind of got like good response, and you know, we just kind of like want to keep that momentum. Well, we are currently eagerly awaiting our sort of debut tour that we're playing later this month. We're also playing,
Honestly, cannot wait for that.
yeah,
that's going to be good.
we're playing Isle of Wight just before that, which is pretty mad.
I'm like scared for that. Sort of like we're doing the Isle of Wight, and then we got 2 days off, and then we're back down to Newcastle.
Yeah, it's gonna be mental, and yeah, you know, like I think it's just good that we've got stuff to go back to, because we were kind of like halfway through lockdown, we were kind of like, where do we go from here? And then we just kind of ended up getting some shows booked. But personally, last night I went and saw a band called White Novels, who are like up and coming as well, and I didn't know any of their songs at all, but they put on a like really good show, and I just went myself, and yeah, they kind of blew me away. They exceeded expectations, and I'd love to kind of do some more shows with them or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many bands, like particularly in our scene, and people that I grew up with as well. Like when I first joined the scene, like when I was just a sweaty 16-year-old. But you know, like recently we were doing stuff with like This Feeling, and Dead Pony were one of them. I think, where are they from? I think it's somewhere near Glasgow. But the energy in their music is phenomenal. It sounds kind of like Wolf Alice, but like it's like, I don't know, it's quite punchy, but there's like a lot of stuff. Like I think I mentioned this already before, like when we were doing interviews before. Like I've talked quite highly about them because I think just their general sound has always been something I've like really appreciated. Like I like just kind of loud and sort of like this sort of wall of sound. But you know, like there's other artists as well. There's a lot of people, which I'm sure you all agree, like we've kind of spoken to along the way. You know, people like let's take for example like Megan Black. She's a much different vibe from us, but you know, recently she's been putting stuff out that's just like phenomenal, you know, and she started a crowdfunding project to get sort of ready for an album and stuff like that, and I think that's really cool. I think she's got like this sort of like really impressive sort of style. She's very sort of like in her bio, she's like hippie, sort of stuff like that, and I think it's just so cool to see people embracing like their personal life and bringing it out in music. I think that's something, you know, I think it's really really cool.
Regarding like the local scene and stuff, who I'd absolutely love to play with, Spires. Don't know if you've heard them. They're from a band. They're a band from East Kilbride.
Vistas,
Vistas, yeah, Vistas. I absolutely love Vistas. They're such good guys. We're going to see them soon, yeah. Well, it'll be Tuesday. Tuesday then, yeah. Yeah, we're going to see them for like their acoustic sets and also their like Battlelands gigs and stuff. Retro Video Club, love them. Absolutely like pop punk vibes from them, like pop punk indie rock. I'd also love to work with like Joshua Grant. Don't know if you've heard of him. He's a solo artist from Edinburgh. He's a good guy. I've spoke to him a couple of times, like on like social media and that. He's really nice. Like quite a funny character. Who else?
We did a gig a few weeks ago. We played at a theatre in Livingston, and we were talking to the Moonrunners.
Moonrunners,
and,
yep. Yeah.
They were quite keen to take us on a tour with them next year when everything starts to kind of get
Moonrunners
back
are
to
good.
normal.
They're a duo from they're from Livingston, yeah, as well.
I think so,
Yeah, we're a Livingston band, West Lothian. Probably should have said that at the start, but we're a Livingston West Lothian band like themselves. They're a duo band from Livingston, and they play like what I describe their sound is like it's like the Vaccines. That's another band who I'd love to like work with or meet. Love the Vaccines. Like kind of mixed with like the White Stripes. Because obviously it's the two of them. But they're very like kind of soft rock sounding 50s band as well, you know.
Their energy though is something incredible, because I was looking at photos because they worked with the same producer as us. They worked with Jamie Holmes, and I saw photos of them when they were in their session a few weeks prior to us, and the pair of them are just like doing the whole thing in their pants because there's just so much energy.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm Adam from the Katuns. This is our last song. This song's called Friend Like You. On a cigarette break, yeah. Left your number for me to take. And when I left out, you came at your cage, yeah. Spoke about life's on a decline. Why don't meet up in 2 weeks' time? I love the way we talk, I love the little rhymes that intertwine. Fast forward a couple years on, I quite like you, but it seems quite wrong. We've been just friends for so long. Start to thinking I can't deny if we just gave it a try. In a heart, all you need's a little spark. Don't know we should. Talk to you is something I couldn't do. I never had the gut to tell the truth, yeah. I never had the gut to tell the truth. Never had the gut to tell the truth. Thank you very much.